So Hope Michelson's life has been like very traumatic up until this point, and we've been hearing that her life is supposed to take a lighter turn for the new series. So what can you tease about that?
Well, just that. Yeah, Hope has had a lot of tragedy and strife in her life. And so I did a lot of screaming and crying and being very mad on set in the original. And I love to play those characters. Those are my favorite characters to play. It's like the deep, broken characters. But that doesn't necessarily go away in Hope. I think Hope just has a much more mild way of expressing that. But the show is definitely much lighter and so far much less tragic than either of the shows preceding it.
So kind of going off that, in the originals, Hope was feeling incredibly guilty about Haley's death and the kind of the role that she played in that. Do you think that'll carry over into Legacies? Is she still feeling guilty?
I'm sure. I mean, it has been 2 years, so I don't think she's,
it's not as fresh.
It's not as fresh. Yeah, I don't think it's as traumatizing. But Hope is kind of a walking case of PTSD, and I don't think that will ever leave her. And I don't think she'll ever find full closure with that. She'll always miss her mom. Like that no one will ever replace her mom. So definitely, I'm sure that'll be explored a little bit. But again, it does take a lighter turn. So you'll see Hope. Thank you. You'll see Hope a little more like at school, exploring friendships and relationships, and just kind of being a normal-ish as much as you can possibly be 17-year-olds in this world. So.
Yeah, you mentioned in the panel that Hope was going to have more normalcy in her life. So how much will be maybe her family's past coming back to haunt her, and how much is going to be more of her just being a teenager?
Yeah, I think that Legacies is very much so about all of these supernatural beings coming into their own as teenagers and as young adults in the world and trying to do good instead of bad. But Hope definitely has a little more normalcy. I mean, this school is kind of a home for her because there's no place in the world, not even in her own family, because no one can really understand or even tame what she is, and she doesn't even know how to handle it. So you see kind of a structured, she kind of gets a little structure, and she gets a little more of a sense of home and like where she belongs at this school. So in that sense, she does get much more normalcy and people around her own age, as opposed to people who are like 1,000 years old, raising her, which will be fun to play. It'll be a lot more relatable. But I definitely don't think that her Michelson past will ever leave her. Yeah.
How did you find out that Legacies was happening, and did it kind of change your experience with wrapping up the original?
So I didn't know until we found out in May. But I told the story on the panel. I had done several sizzle reels for it, and like which ones got approved or whatever it was. And at the very last one, they did the title part at the end, and it was Legacies. And I remember being like, oh my god, that's such a good name for it. I was like, I hope they name it that if it goes. And I really, really wanted the world to see it, so I was like really rooting for it. And months had gone by since I had done that last sizzle reel, and then one day in May, it was like I think the day that it was the cutoff time for the CW to announce their new shows. And I was like, today is the day. I'm going to find out. I just don't know when. I was at a mall with one of my friends, and I kept getting tagged in a private account called CW Legacies. And I was like, no one knew that name except for me and the producers. And I was like, we're going, because obviously someone named it that. And so I found out later that day, and I was of course texting Julie the entire day like, have you heard anything? This is what I found out. But yeah, that's kind of how I found out in a non-official way. But it's definitely changed and been much more exciting for me, because now I can really open a door to Hope. Before it was very much so rooted in the family and her role in the family as opposed to her role as just her. So I am very excited because I get to explore her as her own person.
Yeah. How would you describe her relationship with Lark? Is he like a family member to her? What's going on with him?
I definitely think so. They have a fun relationship. They kind of assume this weird relationship of like, I don't know, uncle, father figure in this school, kind of like a home away from home again. But they're both very strong-willed and strong personalities, and he's helping her kind of navigate who she is and the decisions that she makes. So they have this fun little banter that's going, this fun little sassiness between them, which has been so much fun to play with Matt. It's been so much fun.
Do you see Hope as a good girl at this point? I mean, she's done some terrible things.
Never. I don't think I'll ever see Hope as a good girl. I think Hope is good-natured. I think she always wants to do good. I don't think she's evil and wants to do harm to anyone or anything. But she makes a lot of mistakes, and her mistakes have cost her a lot and will cost her a lot. So that's why she tends to just keep everything very low-key. She doesn't get too close to people. She spends a lot of time alone and dealing with herself. So, yeah.
Do you see more of Klaus in her, or Haley, or any of the other family members?
So I think that Hope has a pretty equal mix of both. I think she definitely shows a lot of the nicer qualities of Haley. But when we pick up in Legacies, I want to say she's even a little more Klaus-like. She's got a little more of an attitude and a little more of a maturity about her, and a little more of like, I am undefeated, no one can touch me, and like, don't victimize me ever kind of attitude, which has been a lot of fun too, for me as an actor. But I don't think she'll ever, or I hope she never loses the parts of her that are her mother as well, the very kind and sweet and parts of her.
So what will she be like with the twins? What will that dynamic feel like?
That'll be a fun dynamic. It has been a fun dynamic. So the twins are focused on which skirt they're wearing next to school tomorrow, and Hope laughs at it so much. And they're polar opposites. That's what it is. And they do not get along. So it's kind of like this weird mean girl dynamic, but Hope is most certainly not a victim or being bullied by any sense, and no one would ever bully Hope Michelson. But it's been kind of a juicy dynamic to play.
What about the boys? What kind of boys are in her life at this point?
Oh, talk about a juicy dynamic. Yeah, there's some boys. There's a boy as of right now, and in the sizzle reel we saw him, and I'm trying to think what I can and can't reveal. I'm very excited for Hope to have somewhat of a love life, I think. She didn't get too lucky last time, so I'm hoping that whatever comes with these new kind of relationships, boy, like friends, whoever it is, kind of bring her a little more of a sense of normalcy and a sense of love in her family. So.
Do you think she's destined to have a life free of being cursed by the Michelsons?
I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't think her Michelson roots will ever leave her. I think she will always be the stubborn and do not touch me Michelson personality that she is. But I also think that she is the new generation of the Michelsons, and she feels a lot of this pressure to be like, I want to continue my family's legacy as something that's good instead of so evil and so heartbreaking. But I mean, we've seen Hope for like a season, and she's already like been so unlucky, and so much death and tragedy has happened to her, and she's only 15 at this point. So I don't know.
What excites you? What are you most excited for fans to see in the very first episode?
In the first episode?
Yeah.
The first episode is so good. I'm really excited for the fans to just meet all of the new characters. We really developed each character so differently and so vibrantly, and artistically it's so fun and beautiful and new and fresh and young, and we really developed each character that way, and so I'm excited for fans to kind of see that. It's almost very like comic booky in a weird way. But you definitely see a door open to a new world of supernatural that isn't necessarily Vampire Diaries or the originals, and I'm excited for fans to follow that journey.
Last question.